Hey, what's going on, family? So I have been absent from vlogging on a regular basis outside of going on TikTok and doing all that. I just left out of my favorite place, which is the Goodwill, and I got some really cool things. I just started a resale journey again. So I wanted to give you a couple of quick tips that in 2025, moving on for the rest of 2025 to the rest of 2026, a lot of people have lost jobs. And when I am speaking with people about entrepreneurship, becoming a business owner, a lot of times people are I don't want to say confused, but they don't know how to transition from being employed to being self-employed. I personally have been a business owner my whole life, more so as an adult, because I have been fired, I have been laid off, and I ask God, as long as you continue to give me the willpower, the anointing, the desire to better myself, I will continue to do that. So I believe we are in the era of hustle, and hustle is from different perspectives. You can hustle because that's your lifestyle. You can hustle because you want a better life. You can hustle because you gotta have some money and you ain't got none. I personally have been on both sides. With that being said, I want to give you like 5 things that I know that works for me that will work for you if you put in the work. So a lot of things we can do, but whether or not it manifests or not really depends on us. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious by any means, but I know that everything I put my mind to, God blesses me in it and through it. And so with that being said, if you are in a position now where you lost your job, if you are in a position you just need some extra money, if you're in a position you just want better for yourself and you don't want to depend on a 9 to 5, just in case something happens, when something happens, I never say in today's time, if something happens, because now be prepared because things happen. So I started a resale shop in 2010. I had my own physical location and I did pretty good. We did pretty good as a business until the rent started to succumb, till the rent became more, we were putting out more or actually breaking even sometimes than we were actually making the money. And so with the emergence of apps and all that stuff, is so many ways to make additional money where you don't even have to leave your home. Literally, you don't have to leave your home. So I have used in the last, and I just been doing some little trial and error, but I really just started really pushing forth really into it. So obviously, if you are on any type of social media, I tell you all the time, use this social media to advance yourself, because this is free ways of advertising. Get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get on Facebook, and I literally have made money from each one of those platforms. I haven't struck it rich, but I've made enough where I can use that money to go invest in my business, to do something else in my business. So if you are not using social media, if you're afraid to just push that button and go live or get on the camera, then you need to change that, because the more visible you are, the more opportunities you have to make some additional money. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that. Now, one of my goals is to really expand my YouTube, because I have really kind of fallen short on it. More so because, I just haven't found time to just sit in front of the camera and start recording. But when I'm sitting up here recording with you guys now, I'm at 4 minutes. So it's not a lot. It's just what we prioritize and what we want to put forth as far as an investment in time and what we want to do. But I truly believe in YouTube being a very valid source of making income. I see so many people making it. And as a 50+ person, y'all, I ain't going back to work for nobody in the name of Jesus, because I have asked God to continue to plentify my life in many ways. Now, everybody ain't like me, and I don't expect you to be, but it's just me. I am at a stage in my life where I love to travel. I love to spend time with my family. I just love to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, whenever I want to do it. And I don't want to have to answer to a job. That's me. If you're at that stage too, kudos to you, high five. Let's go on this journey together. But at 56, almost near retirement, that's where I am. So the next thing that I want to share for you. So I've started using a couple of apps like Depop. Soon as I put my stuff on there, I started making some sales. I started Whatnot as well. Now, I have not been very successful on there. I have made one sale, but I'm not going to give up, because it's just another way to get your stuff out there, to get your presence out there, and to put yourself out there to be able to sell something. If you don't show up, don't nobody know you exist. If you don't show up, you can't make no money. So I'm going to keep showing up there, even though it's sometimes very discouraging, because I'm just sitting there waiting for people to come in, and nobody ever comes in. One person. So that's number one. The next one I want to share, that's number two, excuse me, those platforms. The next one, number two, that I want to share with you is I have consistently always done my real estate. Now, I have been licensed as a realtor since 2003. I have been in real estate for over 30 years. So that is my meat and butter. That's my comfort zone. But when the market is slow, when it's low inventory, you got to find other ways to make some income. And that's why I started doing multiple things, multiple streams. Now, of course, somebody's going to always say if you deep dive into it, then you can manifest, you can do it. Yes, that's true. However, I still have always been this way my whole life, to have multiple streams of income. And so real estate, Airbnb, short-term rental, long-term rental, management property, those things bring a decent amount of income into my household where I can work and do other things as well. And so, people talk about short-term rental has gone away. No, it has not. It depends on how you're working your business, how you're growing your business, how you're advertising your business, and how you're showing up for your business, whether it's gone away or not. And so we have a very present platform on Airbnb. However, we also have a website where we market our properties for short term and for long term and things of that sort. And so to me, if you have a spare room in your house, if you have another piece of property that's just sitting there, that still is always a viable source. If you travel a lot and you may not be at home sometimes, make some money on your spot. It's a simple way to rent out a room, the basement or something. Now, people crazy, so you want to be mindful of that. However, Airbnb and when we put people in our properties, we make sure that we do a thorough background check, because people are crazy, and so you have to watch out for that. However, it's still a viable source, especially if you have a piece of property that's just sitting there, grandma's house or something, and you want to make some additional streams of income. You travel a lot and you're never at home, but just be mindful to put all your valuables and things away. So real estate, number two. You can also do, which we've done before, but now we're launching full stream into it, even more so, renting rooms. As I mentioned, you do that through Airbnb. There's also a pad place that you can do that as well, to get it's not in every area, so you have to really look to see if it's in your area, but still, renting spaces in your home is a great way to make some additional income. I saw on advertising too, some people, if you have a pool, you can rent your pool out, your backyard. It's just so many things that you can rent for things that you pay rent or mortgage on, that you could bring additional streams of income. If you got a nice sized house, you can rent it for birthday parties, your backyard, your pool, things of that nature. So that's another number two thing. Now, the only thing that I really dealt in was the Airbnb, the property management, and then the renting of the rooms for independent housing. Those are the things that I know that work, because I've done them. The pool renting, I have a friend that's done that has made some money renting their pool out during the summer. And then the backyard thing, I don't know anybody that has done that personally, but I do see it's a viable way to, again, make some additional income. And number three that I want to share with you, that I've made some money at, that is really working for me, is really just getting out there in the community, sharing. Sometimes they have pop-ups and things where you can present your stuff in the marketplace. You can get out there and do that as well. So vending is really hot, especially during the holiday season. So if you got products that you sell, that you market, get out there and put yourself out there, because it is a viable way to make some income. Number four, what I have been doing for quite some time as well, is become licensed in something. I spoke to you about becoming a realtor. I've been that since 2003, but been in the real estate business over 30 years. I'm also a licensed insurance broker. So that helps me getting out there, marketing myself as a realtor, as an insurance broker, to be able to continue to grow my business, build my business, and build a sustainable income. Number 5, what people have been doing, what you know about, is digital products. Now, I haven't dived deep into them a whole lot, but I do know they work. I do know people make money on them, and I have made some money doing digital marketing, but so many people are doing it. So with it being out there, you have to make sure you got a valuable tool, a valuable resource, valuable knowledge that you can share with other people, that they will gain knowledge from, that they are, when they spend their money with you, that they can find it a marketable tool to invest in themselves, to be able to make some additional money. So, but there's so many different ways out here, you guys. There's no way for people to be broke. There's no way for people not to have no money unless you just have nothing, period. And there are people out there like that. But if you have small resources, a little resources, some resources, there's opportunity out here for you to make some money. So I, resale, like I said, I did that before. I know it works. Using the apps that I'm working with now, I have made some money. I'm starting to make some money. I have not been full on eBay, but I'm getting ready to get back into that again. And just to show up, to sell. I got so much junk in my house. And then, like I said, I just left the Goodwill and bought some more stuff. But I try to make sure that I advertise out there so people can see what I got. But that is my message for you guys today. I hope and pray that you guys are doing well. I'm in the ATL this week. I'll be back in the STL next week. But when I'm here, I'm out in the streets. When I'm in the ATL, I'm out doing things that I like to do, because there's just so much here to do. And this is one of my favorite places to be. My second home that I'm at when I'm not in St. Louis, I'm in Atlanta. So, but anywho, thanks again for being here. Blessings and peace. May God continue to bless and anoint you and abundantly fulfill your life with everything you need, want, and desire. Talk to you later. Bye.